Hey guys, and welcome to the Band Rants channel, your home for NFL projections, predictions, and of course, your periodic rant. And in this video, we're going to go over the Las Vegas Raiders 2021 schedule predictions. Now, I got a request in one of my last videos to do this, so I'm going to make it today. And if you guys like what you see here, please make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you want to see me do something else. And let's go ahead and get started. So, on a Monday night with the lights on bright, if you looked at my last video with the Ravens schedule, I gave the Ravens the win over the Raiders. Now, it's not very common that a home team will lose an opener, especially on a primetime night. And this could potentially flip, but right now, looking at both teams, I like what both of them have done in the offseason. And I do think that Yannick Ngakoue's got something to prove against the team that released him. But right now, I just think the Ravens are not on track to lose an opener. It could happen in a couple of years, but right now I'm just not seeing it. But after that, the Raiders' opening schedule, minus a couple of travel issues, on paper is pretty favorable. Whoever made the schedule did not really do them a kindness early. Game at home on the West Coast, traveling on a 6-day week to the East Coast, then back to the West Coast. I mean, at least they stay out there for a while, but against the Steelers in Week 2, even on a short week, the Raiders, fun fact, have statistically owned Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers every time they faced off. The Raiders have actually been Ben Roethlisberger's kryptonite. And Ben was showing a few signs of decline last year, and I'm a little skeptical on him this year. So this one honestly could go either way, but I'm going to give the Raiders the win here. I think the Raiders right now are due. They're overdue to really emerge as a contender in the AFC. They've been slowly improving with John Gruden. I think they'll continue to improve. I see no reason at all, unless they suffer an injury bug, as to why they'll drop off. At home against the Dolphins, this one, again, East to West Coast, but the Dolphins probably also have to do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and say the Raiders win here. I don't see them losing 2 home games in a row, especially early on. Please ignore that Week 19 thing. That isn't a game. And the Dolphins right now, I have more faith in Derek Carr than I do in Tua right now. At the Chargers on a Monday night, the Chargers are actually a really bad home team, and that could change with Justin Herbert down the road, especially against a divisional opponent, but the Raiders, I don't think, have gotten swept by the Chargers since Phillip Rivers was there. And I know that's only 1 year, but I mean, it could still tell the story for a little bit. Now, I think the Raiders are going to win this one. The Raiders, honestly, are, in my opinion, a team that's very overlooked because of Patrick Mahomes, even Justin Herbert. But I think the Raiders are going to keep it interesting for a while. At home against the Bears, at least they stay on the West Coast. They don't have to go very far. I think they'll win this one. At Denver, this is probably going to be a loss. Not because the Broncos are good, but because the Broncos and Raiders play each other very tough. And I do see a series split. And I don't see the Broncos going 0-6 in the division. I do see them winning 1, maybe 2 clutch games in the division, but it's not going to be any kind of sweep here. Spoiler alert, the Raiders win here. At home against the Eagles, I don't see the Raiders dropping 2 upset games in a row this early on. The Eagles are a team that's going to be playing spoiler to a lot of teams, but not at this point. I think the Raiders are going to win this one and go into the bye week at a very solid, I'm just going to take that off for a second, at a very solid 5-2. Now, off the bye, they go towards the Giants game. Now, this one, it all depends on how the secondary can hold up against the wide receiving core that the Giants have. I mean, Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney, that's going to be really fun to watch, along with Kyle Rudolph being in the tight end position. This could be a shootout. And you normally wouldn't think of teams like, quarterbacks like Derek Carr and Daniel Jones being involved in a shootout. But we could see that, and honestly, this one could go either way as well. I'm going to give the Giants the nod, even though the Raiders are coming off the bye, and that could easily change. The Raiders could win this one. very easily, and it's not going to be a very one-sided game. It's going to be a one-possession game, I think. And at home against the Chiefs, I actually have the Raiders winning this one. The Raiders are probably the only team in the AFC West right now, with the exception of the Chargers if they continue to build up, that can even keep it interesting with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the Raiders actually were the only team that got a victory over Patrick Mahomes in the early season. Albeit the Week 17 outlier where the Chargers won when the Chiefs rested starters, but the Raiders were the only team to do that last year, and people forget that. At home against the Bengals, look, the Bengals are coming off the bye. I know they're going to have to win sometimes, and this one could easily be an upset loss, but I think the Raiders are going to be fine here. At Dallas on a Thursday, I'm pretty sure this is Thanksgiving, it is. I think Dallas is going to win. I think Dallas has improved a lot. I think the Raiders have not improved a lot, but they haven't needed as many improvements as other teams. They've been steadily improving over the last couple of years to a point now where they can actually be a contender in this year, if not the future. At home against Washington, I think they're going to take this one, and they're going to lose the game at the Chiefs. We know bad things do happen at Arrowhead. So, you could easily flip it and have the, Raiders win here and lose at home. It could go either way. At the Browns, I think is going to be a win. At home against the Broncos is going to be a win. Now, will they make the postseason? Because if they run the table, they'd be probably a shoo-in, right? 12-5. That's basically a postseason berth. But here's the thing. At Indianapolis and at home against the Chargers, they're not going to win that one. The Chargers are a much better road team, and I do not see them getting swept. At home against at the Colts, that's where it's really going to come down to. And honestly, I see the Colts winning this one. I do. This late down the season, it can be one of two things. It can either be Carson Wentz playing spoiler or trying to keep the Colts afloat. Either way, I think the Raiders sputter out here. Now, they still end up with a much better record than they did last year. They still improve, technically. They still get better. And there's a couple of these games that they could flip. They could potentially flip that Broncos game and get the sweep this year. They could potentially flip that Giants game. But right now, I think 10-7 early on. That's my guess. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.